Welcome Cosmic Comics, Games and Collectibles, your zen of geekism. We carry comics old and new, magazines, toys, games like Pokemon, Magic, D&D. Want Godzilla, Ultraman, Star Trek, Ninja Turtles, Funko Pops? You'll find it all here. Shop our Cosmic Sound Room and pick up a record or two. Enjoy our Comic Coffee Lounge with a cup of Sasquatch coffee or a delicious menu item while geeking out over a super cool movie on our big screen. Come by and say hello to Maui. Cosmic Comic, Games and Collectibles. Superman loves us, and so will you.
Hi everyone, Daphne Lage here. Join Nita Lanning and me on the Ragin' 2 The Vlogs show, where we talk about everything, nothing, and all the bits in between. Looking for hour-long conversations about indie comics, social media marketing, and crowdfunding, with the occasional rant and story time? Head on over to the Ragin' 2 channel on YouTube, Mondays through Fridays at 11 a.m. Eastern to join in the chat.
Hit the button.
And good evening, everybody. I am RJ Carter, Senior Managing Editor here at CriticalBlast.com. No, I am not Pops Van Zandt. I just have a similar hat. So it's a hat group night. I'm wearing the hat. I am the Senior Managing Editor here at CriticalBlast.com, Chief Envelope Licker for Critical Blast Logistics, Myopic Proofreader for Critical Blast Publishing, and I sometimes answer the phones for Critical Blast Consulting. Tonight, we are going to go over to Indiegogo and look at a new it's a new crowdfunded campaign. I can say that, even though it's, in its second month. It's, the first campaign for this backer, this campaigner, this creator. So many terms and technologies that come into this crowdfunding thing. And sometimes I, put the accent on the wrong syllable or mix up the terms a little bit. With us tonight, we have Mr. David Dominguez, whom you know and love as V-Rose.
What's up, everybody?
You're not Australian, by the way, which was a bit of a surprise to me.
I'm a racially ambiguous teenager, apparently.
Well, that's the best thing to be in this world.
Yeah, checking all the boxes, man.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, I hear about you all the time on all our shows from down under. You seem to be quite the hit with those guys.
Nah, it's more like the punching bag, if anything. They're all a bunch of I love them, but they're fucking mean.
But I'm looking at this campaign you got up here. This is a good looking campaign, and I'm thinking, if Cerebrum doesn't have a crossover with Cobalt somewhere down the way.
We've been talking about it. Don't
really?
We've been talking about it. I've been asking Jay, like, dude, what are we going to do here? Because it's you, me, and Joe Catapano. We're like the trifecta of cyberpunk comics out there in Comixgate right now, and it's like, dude, we need to do something before there comes another one. We have to add in another one, but like,
I agree.
We just don't know how to actually do it. So we actually approached Catapano about it, and he was like a bit about it, and I understand. But me and Jake, we're like really gung ho about it. So I'm thinking like maybe a Cerebrum X Cobalt print at some point. It all depends. Art is expensive.
You just do it. That's all you do. The art costs the same whether it's for your book, his book, or your books together. You're just drawing different, multiple characters on the same page. Wow, we have a lot of folks in the chat here tonight. We have Comix Mate out there. Welcome, Comix Mate. Yeah, we if we're not your favorite podcast yet, we will work on it. Let us know what we got to do. Immortal Rising Comic Book, hail to you, sir. Woody, thank you very much. It's a very inexpensive Walmart hat. Why would B Rose be Australian? I don't know. Only because the majority of the time I hear B Rose being talked about is on your channel or on Michael Bancroft's channel. So I thought, well, he must be another one of them Aussies down there.
I don't sound it at all though.
Yeah, not at all. Star Circuit 2. Yeah, that's I knew it was Joe Catapano's book. I was going to say, yeah, get this guy too, but I was spacing on the name of the book. Yeah, Star Circuit.
That's another good one, man. For some reason, it's so far it's 2 out of 2 right now because Cobalt was really good. It's just really underrated. Star Circuit, another one of my favorites, needs more attention. I need Cerebrum to have that fan hit. So like if people love it, we can like check tic-tac-toe on that.
Yeah. Because it's in the future. I mean, so what if you guys don't all exist on the same world? It's a comic book, you just have a bad guy who opens warp portals and you Rick Sanchez your way into an adventure.
Things happen.
Yeah, things happen. But this being the first book, the first things have to happen first. So, yeah. So what is this? What's going on at Cerebrum?
So Cerebrum is this has been a project 5 years in the making. A lot of literal blood, sweat, and tears went into the making of this project. It was a lot of hard decisions that came between either making rent, buying groceries, or just like having another argument. But like, it's just, I really needed to make this thing happen. I really wanted to make a comic book, and I've been in Comixgate for 5 years now. Well, damn near since the beginning of it. And I've just been lurking. I've been trying to gather as much information as I can, and just to see how to go about it. It wasn't until like a couple years ago when I was just lurking in Bancroft's chat, and then chilling around with like looking at what Rob Arnold was doing, and just whatever that PDF thing that he did, I followed that thing to a T, and it took a lot of time, but it was worth the investment. And here we are with Cerebrum a year later, and we launched it live on Bancroft's, and the support for it on day one was overwhelming. Yeah, I actually did tear up. I had to turn off the camera real quick. I loved it.
It's a great feeling to not only just launch your first campaign and you sit there and you wonder, okay, how people are going to react to this. Am I going to be sitting here 60 days from now 50% funded? But 3 days in, you feel like Sally Field. They like me. They really like me.
Yeah, it was weird. I was like, oh my god, we actually funded Oh, it was a giant weight just lifted off, and I couldn't be more relieved.
Yeah.
Even
For
after
just
the
a little
launch.
bit.
Yeah, yeah.
It
Even
was
after
lifted for just a little bit because now you got to do it.
yeah, that's where the real pressure came. It was initially just the anxiety just leading up to the launch, and how it's even more pressure. You're chilled out for like a whole week, but then
Yep.
it hits you like, I gotta make a fucking comic book.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, Lorenzo, good to see you out there, man. So how much of this comic book have you made already? I mean,
All
you
the
got
line art is done. 60 pages of line art have been completed. The
Wait.
colors are in the works right now, though. I do need to inform the backers that we have switched colors because the other one just couldn't hit the deadline where I was wanting it to be. And, being in the crowdfunding space, we need to be on a deadline. I don't want to be another one of those creators that is just sitting around for over a year and not have anything close to fulfillment yet. And,
Yeah, the last thing you want to hear is late books.
yes, absolutely. That's the last thing I want to hear. But that comes with the perk of not putting a, a delivery date by. But you will definitely get your book. I've been in the community long enough, out in the open. People are following my personal accounts on all platforms, and I just wanted to give people that much security and trust and goodwill with me. That way, they know that they're definitely getting a product out of this.
Yeah. So we've got people reading ahead. George isn't going to wait for us to go through the tiers. He's already done it, and he notices that you don't have a digital only tier on this.
That is actually something that I wanted to test the waters with. There is a digital tier. I just wanted people to actually ask for it rather than just having to be up there firsthand, just to see how many people would actually get the physical book. But there is a digital tier. Just hit me up in the DMs at Black Rose Comics with the X, and I will send you the link.
Okay, so that is at Black Rose Comix.
Yeah.
There are Black Rose Comics with a CS out there too, because
I no longer have access to that account. Something happened. I did a little fuddy duddy thing with it, and I got perma locked out of my own account. I was like, damn it.
Yeah. So you're a Twitter fugitive.
Yeah, I was a bit spicy one day, and yeah.
I've been there. I've been spicy before. I forget what I got. I got a 12-hour suspension for something. I was like, really?
Most random things.
Yeah. I just said, well, okay, I'll wait 12 hours. I'm not deleting nothing. You can keep it. What I do like about this campaign, scrolling down it here, is that you don't have 1,000 different tiers with 1,500 different ways to mix things up.
We kept this as simple as possible. There's really not much, that I was gonna, offer in the beginning. But I am gonna add a couple more tiers later this week. I am getting a couple things put together. Just some little things of merch. Being spicy is this Vietnamese blood.
He's only 17% Vietnamese. Come on.
It goes either way. I've been approached by Vietnamese people. Houston is filled with Vietnamese people, and they will greet me in Vietnamese, and I'm like, oh, dude, I'm sorry, I'm Hispanic, I'm Mexican, dude. I'm like, I don't know what you just said.
There was
sorry.
Yeah, they were getting ready to introduce you to their daughter and everything.
I'm in a relationship, man.
Yeah, there was a comedian out of Nashville named Henry Cho.
Oh, I heard of him.
You've seen him. He's hilarious, but his novelty wore off real quick because his best joke was how he just would walk out there. It's just, stiff and very Korean-like, culturally and nervous. He just look out at the audience for 3 seconds. And then as soon as they got all uncomfortable, just how y'all doing tonight? It was just the weirdest dichotomy in the world of hearing that voice come out of that face.
Yeah, the cowboy Asian. It was hilarious. It's the tiara.
royalty of their STRs. But yeah, you've got two covers. You can either get them both together, each one separately.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'm wondering, what's this? Because this is where the price kind of jumps. You know, you got this $130 collector's box set.
Yep, that's the Black Label box set. This comes with everything that is going to come in with the campaign. This is the subscription tier. It's going to come with pretty much everything that you see up there. Sticker set by 6 a.m. Comics. What else? The acrylic standee that has just been unlocked will also be thrown in there. 5 metal prints from Phoenix Animation, my co-host. That's you can also get those as add-ons separately if you wish. Yeah, we're gonna throw in everything that we can hit in there.
And have you learned anything over the past couple of days about shipping these fold-over boxes?
Yep. I'm not liking the price point, but luckily a quarter of my backers are from Houston, so it's literally just a drive and drop off, and I'm saving a whole lot on that so that I can use that for the actual international backers. There's not a whole lot, thank God, but it was a blessing in disguise.
Thank you, Pops. I appreciate it. It is a hat club night, and by the way, Pops is like riding high there on the hat brim. So representing everybody here. But what I was driving at was I guess Anna, that Star Wars girl, put a video up yesterday, day before maybe. She had gotten her box set of Cyberfrog, and I guess there wasn't enough bubble wrap in the box. And it was like, it had 80 pounds of comics in it, shifting back and forth, and it just totally ripped the short end off the printed collector's box.
These are much more durable. If you've seen the Aerith tapes, I'm just talking a lot with Brian. We're in a lot of DM groups where I've been talking to him for a while now, and he's hooking me up with his supplier, and so you're going to get the same durable box sets that he has, so it's going to be all snug and secure.
Yeah, you almost have to ship those things in another box. In fact, I've shipped out box sets like that for the Embrace.
Damn it!
Yeah, I've got boxes for the Embrace set, and I was like, okay, cover it in bubble wrap, and then put it in that big outer envelope. And
I missed out on that, man. I really wanted that.
You should have got it. Trust me, there's not any left. But somebody got one, and their postal guy had just kind of like grabbed the corner of the bag and just beat it against the metal post because it still ended up getting damaged. I'm like, okay, screw that. It's going in cardboard boxes.
There has to be something on the back, on the outside of that little cellophane bag that just says collectible. Do not handle with care. Don't be a dick.
Well, it was a plain white bag, so it shouldn't have been too much of a giveaway. He did have the regular ones that were going out with the Embrace labeled bag on them that we printed up. So those, I've had the ones that have ever been damaged in delivery have always been the ones that had something printed on the bag identifying it as a collectible. So it's almost like they do it on purpose. One had been just baptized in motor oil. Like they held the corner and just dunked the whole thing and pulled it back out. But the books were fine because they were sealed in a bag. The cardboard box they were taped to that had the prints in it didn't fare so well. I had to replace the prints. But that was, you live and you learn. Okay, so story-wise here, I keep reading he and I keep seeing she. Which means you know how to sell a comic book because it's.
Yeah. But so in a city divided between the pure and the damaged, a desperate man descends into a world of crime, violence, and augmentation to save his brother's life, even as the shadowy underworld threatens to consume him. Anthony Sosa uncovers a secret that could change the balance of power forever.
Okay, and this is in a sort of a Blade Runner-esque kind of future.
Yeah.
People are, well, it's cyberpunk. It's the age of the cyborg.
Yeah, it's a lot of that going on. A lot of cybernetic use.
Yeah, But I used to be like, yeah, I want, when I was a kid, bionic arm, hell yeah, bionic eye, put one in me.
Not in this
Bionic
world, man. Not in this world. You get a bionic arm and you get shunned to the shanty towns.
Oh man. Well, yeah, and the thing is like nowadays it's like, you get a bionic arm, you're like, this thing just got a Wi-Fi update. Who's gonna hack my arm? You wake up in the middle of the night, your arm's doing something to you. Hey, stop that! It's not me. It's a pretty violent world though here.
Oh yeah, this is rated M. Absolutely.
Is this a one shot? Is this
this is going to be an ongoing series. Have so far 6 volumes written. I'm in this for the long haul. This is going to be a 20 volume series. Hopefully, hopefully I live long enough.
I mean, you're going to have to do more than one a year. I can tell you that now. so find out how to get on that. I need
more people to back this so I can afford all of it.
Well, this is where it starts. But I know people who do it. Miskatonic High is on Kickstarter, and they never fail. Every 3 months, new issue. They're 13 issues in. But I know how they did it. They drew 5 issues and then kickstarted number 1. So they.
Yeah, but that took probably a lot of time just to do.
Well, they've got the buffer now, so they will never be late because they're still working 4 issues ahead of what they're currently funding.
Yeah, they have a massive advantage.
And I think it helps that one of the partners is the artist, so they're. It's not the same as when you have to actually go out and pay a guy in advance.
I'm just a writer. But, get all the shit for no reason, even though we're paying for everybody.
you're the guy cutting the checks, because these artists they're funny animals. They like to be paid for their work.
Oh yeah.
So it looks like this guy is part of a team or a gang or why does he become?
This is literally just a ragtag team of individuals that just end up getting brought together by unfortunate circumstances. Hey, what's up, Earth's Best Entertainment? I've seen him around now. I've seen him in
he's showing up everywhere. Yes, hashtag just a writer. I catch myself saying that too, though, because I can't draw, I can't create a book that way because I write. I go to conventions, I sit in Artist Alley, and I flag people down and say, "I'll write a paragraph about your character if you." People don't seem to want it.
Yeah, that's how I always wanted to be an artist. So like my way of coping with that is just I would just make thumbnails for my artists just to get the point across. Because sometimes the way that I write scripts, it's like most of the time it gets visual based, and so I need. I'm not really good at conveying that, even though I'm a writer. But like, sometimes I just need that extra step.
Now, what was your experience with comics before Cerebrum? I mean, had you done any independent comics before, even if they were like, run off a mimeograph machine in your garage or something?
This is the first time at batting.
But you felt like you could do it.
It was a test to see if I can. It was just it was a need to scratch an itch, and I could not move on without knowing if I could. And this was something that I've always wanted to do. I can't really go much into that other than this was something that I needed to do.
I'm not trying to induce imposter syndrome in you and like, what am I doing? Just cancel the campaign. Forget it. We're done.
No, man.
But you obviously love comics. This is something you want to do. What's your history with comics? Then, if not as a writer, I mean,
I originally started actually collecting when I was a teenager. When I was a kid, I was just watching the Marvel movies and all the other superhero movies that came out. It wasn't until like I actually had my own high school job that paid for my habits. It only got worse as I got a better job, and I kind of switched up from that. But like comic book wise, I was always reading something from like Mark Miller, and he was a prime inspiration of like how I'm writing things and the stories that I come up with.
Yeah.
Oh. No animals were harmed during the creation of Cerebrum. Back today, absolutely. Thank you, Dean.
Yeah, and guys, you can drop the links to Cerebrum, or just look at the top of the chat. It should be pinned up there. I hope I did that, but
I think Dean deserves a wrench.
Yeah, because you are not just a writer. You are a producer, creator, writer, editor, marketer, researcher. Unfortunately, none of those things can actually make the book. That seems to be an important factor.
What makes the book? That green.
Yeah, the green and the guy with the rest of the color palettes, putting them down on paper. So these are prints that I'm looking at here, by the way. I didn't catch
the
that.
one below it. If it looks even remotely out of style, then it is. That's from Juanito, the artist behind Dwarves vs. Lion, and it was colored by Oliver Lee Odyssey of 6x6.
So his arm has a little hidden blade up it.
Yep. As the arcs continue, he gets upgrades.
Oh yeah, I mean, once you got a port, you start plugging in accessories. It just happens.
Yeah.
I bought a 7-bin USB port that's powered behind the machine here. I'm like, I'm gonna plug my DVD into it. I'm like, fuck, they're all taken up. So I've got to get another one now.
This was done by Nerium of Bonds, and she was an incredible artist to work with. Always admired Bonds. I was even reading it when it was on WebTube. I was like, I needed to have her do something for me at some point. So I was like, hey, can you do a print for me? She was like, yeah, sure, absolutely. So we did that in like a week.
Yeah, and now all these prints are available as add-ons.
Yep, they're all on metal, and they're all
that's
yep,
important.
right there on the add-ons, or you can get all 5 of them in the Black Label box set. This one was done by Sean Arendt, who I'm about to have in the next hour on my show. He's the creator of Type 1, and this was also colored by Oliver
from 656.
Yep.
You do a lot of work interacting with them. I mean, you're in Houston. I know they're in Texas. Surely you just
El Paso. They're like on the other side. So that's like a third of the country out there. I was like, damn, I ain't driving all the way out there.
Yeah, well, that's like what's the joke?
Yeah, I just hit them up. We intermingle.
No, you guys have hit each other up though. You've talked.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually run a show called Comix Way on Saturdays. Whether it would be on my channel, Eric Saga's channel, or on 656, and we just have all the brown people of CG there.
There you go. Wait, all of them? You mean both of them? I mean, because there are none. That's I've had it on very good authority that it's all white people like me.
I know it's all 42-year-old white men.
I wish I was 42.
There's no 42-year-old. There's no diversity in comics. What are you talking about?
No women. We're all just white supremacist, transphobe. Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here tracing the curve of her ass, totally subconsciously. I'm just,
good. Then my job was done, and
I'm just talking, and my mouse is going like this. I'm like, oh shit! I'm sitting here fondling her ass with my mouse cursor. Who is she? She's not.
This is the character of our spin-off series. This was actually, this goes back. This is some lore. This goes back almost a little over a year ago. So Lord Finatra. It all starts with Lord Finatra.
He whose name should not be mentioned, but yes, we'll go with it.
So he got drunk on a stream as he usually does, and he couldn't pronounce Cerebrum, and I was like, dude, what the hell? And he's like, sure, Cerebrum, and I'm like, keep going. So that whole meme was born, and it never let go. So we just decided, you know what? A lot of people in the chat liked it. They want it to be a thing with a nice thick chick named Sarah. So here we are, over a year later, and we made the design. So I wrote like 2 issues with her already. I was like, man, this is fun. So she's now she is thick, man. She is hella thick, and
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. So,
nothing wrong
that's
with that at all.
cerebellum, or
but yeah, this is gonna be also helmed by Juanito. He's gonna be the artist on board, and it's gonna be colored by Oliver again, because I just like working with those guys.
And this is, promised full accountability and transparency. You will get your books, even if World War III breaks out, which is actually a possibility now.
I'm shitting myself. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm like, wait, can I actually do that?
Yes. Well, what's going to happen is, we're going to send all our soldiers to Ukraine, and we're going to have to use up all the paper to do it for some reason.
Another paper shortage.
Another paper shortage. But I'll tell you what, paper shortage does not impact delivery of your comic book if you already have stacks of Gemini mailers already sealed up. I was tweeting that today, and someone was talking about, hey, here's what not to do if you're going to fulfill a comic book. And it's a hot button issue with me right now. I'm like, yeah, and if you take a picture of all your Gemini mailers sealed up and ready to go, and it's been 3 months and nobody's got the books, it ain't a paper shortage problem. And you know who you are.
It's an individual problem.
There's a book out there that's done that.
Oh no.
Yeah. And
80s retrowave politics lately.
Yeah. I won't say who it was, but it rhymes with Maragrin, Things of the Salkin.
Ooh.
Oh man. So I played the video on this one. He's selling his body and his services to some bad people in order to protect his family.
This is the criminal organization known as the Circle, which comprises of like 6 individual groups that come together, and they form very bad things. They decide a lot of the things that go down in the city. They decide who moves what and all that other things. Where they actually have like this fixer named Enigma. He's actually the blonde guy that we see there. Who's the medium between these two. That guy right there. He's more the melee hand-to-hand cybernetics expert. He loves to feel the face on his fist most of the time. He doesn't like using guns. He thinks things are stupid. But he's a wild one, that guy. What's up, Odin? How's it going, man?
Hey, man. Got your books. Didn't get the signed ones yet, but I got the other ones. We still have a few more to fulfill. We just ran out. We ran out of books. So that's why I said when you said earlier you wished you got it, I'm like, yeah, because it don't exist no more. There aren't any more of them. Yeah, you've really got to get Jake in on a team up special. I mean, if your guy is up against the Circle and Cobalt is up against La Aranya, I'm like, oh man, a Circle, a Web. This is that they probably all work together.
The possibilities are endless.
Yeah, and if you need a writer, I'm kidding. Maybe. Did he just pull this gun out of his head? Or no, he's shaving his head. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Well, you see the sequence. I'm like, metal thing in my hand. That's a gun. Like he's got a transforming brawn. It goes from brawn to schnauzer. I don't know what it is.
Gunman.
Yeah. Oh, I see. He's actually sticking the razor up into the bottom of the gun cartridge. That's cool. I'm making fun of stuff. I like the foreshortening on this scene here, though, because it really gives you a sense of camera angle that you're looking down.
Yeah, I really wanted to go for a more cinematic feel with a lot of this. So it's a lot of it's very Raimi.
Yeah, yeah, I get it. It's so so how big is this book? That's the next question I want to ask. You probably told me 60 pages. Okay. You going prestige format, saddle stitch?
Perfect bound.
Perfect bound. Okay. So I know exactly how big that book is now because I've got Soul Finder right here, and I had to find a 60. I had to find a 60-page perfect bound book today to weigh for somebody else to get an approximate mailing weight. I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It was 30 sheets of paper, 60 pages. Yeah, there we go. We get this. It's 8 ounces, by the way. So your 60 page book is half a pound.
Oh, the Lord Crackhead. What up, Jeremy? How's it going? Bow.
We got Bow in here. Any longer, and Danny's going to show up.
F Danny.
F Danny. F Danny. Danny shows up. Marmalade's going to have to come and crack heads on him.
Oh, we can just instant time him out. Instant time out.
Yes. So you got the two covers here. I think we've seen both of them.
Yeah, it's the variant is done by Joe Sontag, I was very lucky to get him because right now he is extremely busy and caught up with Reaper Destroyer things, and I was just fortunate enough to get him whenever he was available.
Now, what city does this take place in? Because the signs kind of throw me off.
That's the thing, though. Cerebrum is the city.
Oh, well, I should have asked what the title means. I'm sitting there thinking cerebrum, it's like that's like the front part of the brain here. And obviously, that's where all the things have to hook in for somebody to be cybernetic.
It's a lot of wordplay and it's a lot of mystery that I put into it, but we'll definitely find out what it all means down the line.
He's actually, the whole world exists in somebody else's head. I got it. Okay. It's going to be the end of Saint Elsewhere all over again. Earth, are you going to go tune in somewhere else for a little bit? Okay. Well, appreciate you being here, Hicks. Villain, bow to you too, sir. Yeah, I'm wearing. This is my Pops tribute hat. Every once in a while, I just throw it on here, and I talk about comics, man. And we just get on here and we talk about comics and promote people's shit. That's what we do. I love you, Pops. You know that. I'm not making fun of you when I try to imitate. It's flattery. It's sincere flattery. So you don't have a date on this yet, but are you going to go like the Battle Brick Road route where like, hey, no date, 3 years is fine?
No, it's more like within the year that I'm actually trying. It's one of those things that, it was the biggest reason why I had to let go of the colors because I did not know his the speed that he would work in. And it just turns out he was really hella busy and swamped, and I wasn't really in the know of how many projects he was on. And I'm just like, yeah, no, I can't do that, man. I'm gonna have to go over here because I can't have people wait. Having people wait is not something that I want to do. The whole waiting thing right now and crowdfunding, it irks the hell out of me. Like it really does, and I really want people to get this in a timely manner.
Yeah, there's way too much of it.
People are comfortable with not being called out on it.
Yeah, and honestly, I looked at it. There's not that many that are late, but of the ones that are late, there's a handful that are egregiously late, and then there are some that are late enough.
Well, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, some feel like they're later than they are. A lot of people have been saying that Ethan Van Sciver's 2 years late on Wrecked Planet, and he's like, the delivery date was a year ago. It's 1 year late. It's like. Time and relativity, man. It feels longer.
Yeah, there are some people that I let slide. Stefani Renee. He's just been going through a lot of life things right now, and it's unfortunate. But like, it's like, damn though, man. I wish I can get my hands on Thomas Moria already, but
Yeah, that thing is beautiful looking. I wish
Yeah,
I'd gotten my
I
hands
think
on that one
I
too.
think it's definitely gonna be worth the wait.
Yeah, yeah, it will be. Um, and just shit has happened to everybody. If you're not a company and you're trying to put out an independent comic and a global pandemic hits that ties up all the supply lines, you're not DC or Marvel. You don't have a warehouse of shit to rely
Yeah,
on.
and if you're dealing with all that, and you have a 9 to 5 job, and you have to deal with rent and bills and all that, it weighs down heavy.
Yeah.
It's not an excuse, but it's just life shit.
Hey, find a bio life center near you, man. Twice a week. Go let them draw plasma out. You make
I'll do
110
that.
bucks a week.
I'll do it. $15 a week.
110 bucks a week.
$110 a week. Sign me
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. They're down the street. I'm like, yeah, okay, Friday night, Sunday afternoon, do it. Uh, it adds up pretty quick. It's like a video game because it's like there's the app on your phone that says, hey, we got a promotion here. If you come in this many times, we'll start throwing $15 a visit. And I'm like,
That's
like
like
that.
2 pages, man.
Yeah, exactly. I got the idea from a guy crowdfunding a comic. He's like, I was selling my blood to pay for my artist.
Since you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, and you'd actually make more because the first time sign up people, they get like bonuses on top of it. So
Oh damn! All right,
you'd make all kinds of extra shit.
we have like 15 of them all over Houston.
Oh yeah, that's just it. They're set up to take advantage of the people who are desperate for money, and now we have crowdfunders. So
Jokes on them. We're making actual profits. We're making products.
When you want to tell people you put your blood into your work, you literally did.
I said I did that too because of like my job. I work on cars, so like I literally get cuts and like all over the place.
Well, fortunately, you're not having to come home over a blue board and try to write with those hands. You just sit at a keyboard and type some more. This being your first comic, you can sit down and tell a story. I'm guessing you had written something before, even if you didn't get it published. I mean, you worked at writing stories just to get them out, or
yeah, I was always doing that in school, and every time we had like an assignment, I already finished that day, and it would be like a week away from it being due to be turned in. I was just like, well, I'm already done. Give me another one.
Yeah. I'm writing stories here.
Yeah, so I was always accustomed to it. It was just I got bit by the writing bug, and I just fell in love with it, and I never swatted it away and just kept it there.
What did you struggle at all with the art direction aspect of doing a comic script? Because
no, I
part story and part telling what to draw.
That's what the internet was for. I was just very lucky to have access to it, and I learned a lot off of it. I learned how to write scripts. I learned how to storyboard. It was a lot of learning before I even remotely started writing. It's just nothing but research for a whole year and a half, and then the story just came to me. I was just like sitting in my room. I'm a weeb, so I'm watching anime, and so I'm like, this would be cool. This particular story that I was watching would be so cool if like it was in the future. If it was cyberpunk, we had like other things happening instead of it just being stuck in 80 Southeast Asia.
When you say you research, you talking about researching the craft of the writing of a comic book, or researching elements for your story?
It was just researching like the actual fundamentals of writing a comic book script.
Okay, yeah, somebody should do a bunch of videos on that. I think short videos, so that would show up in like how-to questions on Google, because I know there's the Joe Kubert school, but I think that's just for artists. I don't think there is a class to learn how to write a comic book.
Yeah, I don't think there really is, apart from like people on YouTube. I know Eric Weathers might have something like for scripts or just lettering in general, but I do know that that Raiden Radio is actually starting up like writing tutorials on his channel. He's doing live streams teaching how to write. I'm like, dude, this is good stuff right here. This is educational. This is what people, who want to be creators can utilize. I was like, yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, because we're a huge community. We're bigger than I think we are. That's just getting started. I heard people, complaining earlier today. It's like, hey, another big name is coming into Comicsgate. That's not a good thing because, it makes it harder for the little guys, even harder now. There's another big name. Like, yeah, not really. Because the big names come in, they don't really do that well their first time around. And there were a couple of examples. Whereas, you guys are coming in on the bottom floor here, you're going to earn your chops. And as long as you keep producing, you'll be the big names of the future of CG or whatever it morphs into in the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, it's just a whole lot of it's a lot of pre-work to be a creator. It's a lot of groundwork, network. If anything, that's what I would tell any new creators. Like, dude, you need to network. You need to be in the chats. You need to start genuine relationships with people in the chat. You need to be honest. You need to be real. That's essentially it. The biggest thing that I have right now going for me is the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
That's where people can actually see you. They can actually reach you, talk to you. It's just, it is the biggest and most vital tool that we have as creators. Yeah,
the YouTube chat is the equivalent of the Marvel mailroom. You come up through there. I think the apocryphal story is that Peter David came up through the mailroom at Marvel. He didn't. He got hired on in another capacity, but it wasn't as a writer. And then he was in the right place at the right time when something needed written. You hang around in the chats, get to know the people, get your idea for a story, and then you're like, hey, I'm thinking about doing a book. And instead of getting, who the hell are you? They're like, hey, B Rose is going to make a book. And you got support.
I think a lot of people already knew that beforehand, but it's just it kind of I don't know how to explain this, but yeah, people already knew, and I needed to have a YouTube channel just so that people could reach me, talk to me, and just shoot the shit, hang out.
Yeah, that's the only reason to have it. Don't even dream about getting monetized. It takes forever.
I kind of am already. I'm sorry. I literally just got the notification yesterday, and I was like, "Well, I'm monetized, everybody. What up?"
I had 2,000 subscribers, legitimate. Didn't buy one of them, but I was like 4,000 watch hours short. I was like, because I was just doing these little tiny videos. So I built this like Jerry Lewis telethon thermometer and just would mark it in red, and it would be hanging behind me in shows until it reached 4,000. Got the notification. Been monetized for over a year and a half. Paid once in that whole time because I think the first night I got a first super chat. Hey, you're monetized. Congratulations. Here's $5. And then I had to wait like 7 months for the extra $95 in ads to add on to that because they only pay you when it reaches 100. So if that's a week, great, $100 a week. If it's 6 months, now I can't kick B Rose. He's on the show.
Fucking Brian, asshole.
And we're not going to go get bros motional. Okay, I thought that said bromosexual there for a minute, but
someone will coin it.
Yeah,
not later.
No brosmo here, man.
All the brosmo.
Yeah, and he's so real. He eats on live streams. I usually drink on live streams, but
dude, I just got finished done before we went live. I had some chicken and rice.
Hey, George Peter Gatz was here earlier. He eats on live streams all the time. Usually, you can just see the food on the plate. He aims the camera at it. I'll often drink on a stream, but I've got a Benadryl in me now, and I wanted to actually stay awake until the end of the show. So I figured, Benadryl followed by a beer. I would probably pass out in the middle of the thing. Hey, it'd be good stream. I'm taking the Benadryl because I live around about 8 million trees now in Arkansas, and it's spring, and all the oak trees are pollinating, and apparently the pollen thinks that all the acorns are up my nose.
Oh man.
Because I've just been eyes watering and sneezing and coughing. It's miserable, and it's like I went to Walmart to get Benadryl. I'm like standing in a line to get to where the Benadryl's hanging because just everybody's sniffling and coughing and that. Yeah, it's horrible. Anyhow, coming up top of the hour, you have a show you're getting ready to start. You want to drop a link to your channel here?
Okay. Let me find that thing real quick. Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, drop it in the private chat and I'll paste it out there.
Yeah, so tonight I am actually having on Sean Arendt of Type 1. We're going to go over his book. We're going to talk about his history in comics. It's going to be a grand old time because I'm becoming real good friends with him. And he's
Very
also
cool.
the artist to one of the prints on the campaign.
All right, so there is the link in the chat. If you are not already on B Rose's channel, hit the link. Immediately hit the subscribe button so that you don't have to wonder where that link is again. And once you do that, hit that bell. You got to take the top thing on the bell to get all the notifications. Otherwise, YouTube will just decide for you which ones are important and which ones are not. They're all important. You want to know all of them. So pop over there as soon as we're done here, which I think we are. And check out what B Rose is going to do with his guests. I'm going to refresh this one time here just to either embarrass myself or cheer, one or the other. It's an embarrassing.
It's cool.
Nothing happened.
We had it back early on. I was like, oh, that was cool. Awesome.
Yeah, I know. What I should have done was not refreshed it right before the show started, and then I could have pretended that backer happened during the show. I said, yeah, somebody in the chat backed the book. So I'm going to guess I'm going to hope you have a DM from George Peter Gatsis, who was asking about the digital only.
Let me see.
We're going to call him out.
No.
George. Come on, man.
I do have it. I have a digital option. Just gotta hit me up and I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's $25 for the physical. It's going to be a lot cheaper for the PDF. So
about $5.
Yeah, exactly. All right, man. David, thank you so much for coming on tonight and bringing your book on to talk about. I like it. I'm going to get behind this one here.
Thank you, man.
I'm already following it, so I'll have all the notifications. Not going to back it tonight, but it's on my.
It's on your list.
This is what I do. Hey, Siri. Remind me in 24 days to back Cerebrum on Indiegogo.
Okay. Your reminder is set for the 22nd of April, 2022.
Thank you.
Man, that's when we close out. All right, cool.
That's how I do it, man. I was like, give me the closeout day on these things, and then make sure I get in there and get the money. So
okay, awesome. Thank you, RJ.
I don't think that's what we meant, Aerith.
Oh, damn it!
That's not what we meant. It's not a conga line.
Who always does that to me? Asshole.
We're not playing Miami Sound Machine for this, okay? Anyway, everybody in the chat, the link, if you're watching this on replay, by the way, the link to Cerebrum is right below, first line of the description. Do click on it. It will open in a new window. You'll still get to hear the entire interview while you're throwing money at this campaign. Just pick which cover you want or pick them both or get the box. Get everything at one time because you never know what's going to be the most important part of this set. It's also pinned to the top of the chat if you're still here and you just haven't made up your mind yet. Folks in the chat, thank you so much for coming tonight. We don't have a show unless you're here watching it, so we're always glad that you're here. We do appreciate you being here. And as I always say, while you were here, we just hope you had a blast. Good night.
Bow.